To start your pop art cartoon project inspired by the artist Andy Warhol, you will need a printed copy of a cartoon of your choice. Remember, you want this to be a simple outline of the cartoon. So if it's a little bit blurry or there's way too many lines, it could make the project a little bit harder for you. So choose a simpler image over a more complicated one. You also want your cartoon to take up most of the paper on your printed copy. We want it to be large enough to take up most of the space of our project paper. Once you have your cartoon chosen, you're going to get a big piece of white paper that is folded in half. First, before we do anything else to it, let's go ahead and write our name and class code on the back with pencil. Just choose one side to be the back. Don't forget to write your class code below your name. Then we're going to do one more fold to this. We're going to take the two shorter sides and fold them together, kind of like we're making a card or a book. This will give us 4 places to put the 4 images of our cartoon, because we know that pop artists repeat images multiple times. So you will end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 even spaces. I'm gonna go ahead and fold mine the other way so that my name is now on the back. Next, we're going to take our cartoon and we're going to turn it over, and we're gonna color on the back and press down hard with a graphite stick. Now, graphite is like a really intense, dark form of the lead that's in a regular pencil. So we are going to color all along the back of our printed image. This is going to help us do a transfer of our cartoon image. You do not have to color the entire paper. Notice that this is just really where my cartoon mini is on the other side. You don't have to color all the way to the edges unless your cartoon reaches to the edges. So I'm going to set my folded paper aside for right now, and I'm going to turn over my cartoon, and I'm going to color, pressing down hard with my graphite stick to get a lot of it on my paper. Now, if I color like this and I leave some spaces in between, that's not going to help me later. I need to fill in all of the little white spots. But remember, you don't have to color the entire paper, just where your cartoon is. If you're not exactly sure, just take your best guess. You can flip over your paper and see if you can see the graphite through, making sure to press down so that it is a dark value. I'm going to keep going until I fill up the rest of the space. Now that I've finished coloring with my graphite stick, I am ready to do my transfer process. We're going to need our big project paper and our cartoon, and we're going to turn our cartoon over so that the graphite is on the back, and we are going to put it in one of the spots that we created by folding. We should have 4 different spots for our cartoon to go. You're going to do this transfer process 4 times. I'm going to try to line up my cartoon with the fold and the edges of my paper, and then I'm going to clip it on with a few paper clips. 1 or 2 will work well. This will keep my cartoon in place while I'm working on the transfer process. I'm using a mechanical pencil, but a sharpened pencil will work well too. Now I'm going to trace over my image. I'm just going over the shape of the image. I'm not coloring it in, I'm just looking for the lines. That's why it's good to have a simple outline of your cartoon. What this is doing is pressing the graphite from the back of the paper to my project paper. So you are creating an outline on your project paper. So if I take a peek, I can see part of Minnie's bow that I just went over has transferred to my project paper. Now, it's really important when you do this that you do not move your paper. I know it's hard not to take a look at it, but it will be easier if you don't move your picture until you think you're done. Be sure to get all of the little details that you will need, or you'll have to draw it in on your own. Like I'm going around the little polka dots on her bow. So I'm gonna go around the entire shape of my Minnie Mouse cartoon, going slowly and making sure that I press down hard with my pencil. If I barely press on my paper, then the transfer of the graphite isn't going to work as well. Okay, so I think I traced over all the lines on Minnie Mouse's shape. I'm going to take a little look behind my cartoon paper to see if I've missed anything. But notice that I'm not moving my paper clips yet because I don't want to take the paper off until I am sure I've gotten every line and shape. I noticed that I forgot some of the polka dots on her bow on this side. I'm gonna put the paper back in place and trace over those polka dots that I forgot about. Now I'm gonna take a look, and it looks like I got everything. So I can take the paper clips off. And if there are any lines that are really light, you can go over them again with your pencil to make them show up a little bit more. If there's any lines that you don't really like the way that they came out, you can actually erase the graphite and draw it again on your own. So like this side of her face here, I thought it got a little bit messy, so I'm drawing it again. Here's a little bit light, so I'm going over that again so I can see it better. I'm also adding in the little reflection of her eye because that was a little too small to trace. I'm just taking a look at the cartoon, making sure that I have all of the details. I forgot this side of her arm, so I'm drawing that in on my own. There may be a few things that you forget too, and you can definitely draw them in on your own. Once you have the majority of the shape of your cartoon, it's easy to draw in those little things that you may have missed. We are gonna go ahead and do this 4 times in the 4 sections on your paper. The next transfer that you do, you probably will want to add a little bit more graphite to the back of your cartoon because the graphite has now moved to your project paper, and you'll probably be able to see some imprint of your tracing in the graphite. We'll need to add a little bit more each time we do a new transfer, just kind of right on top of where you see that imprint from your tracing. You don't need to color over the entire thing again, just a little bit. Then we can repeat that process in our next empty spot, putting our cartoon in one of the folded sections, paper clipping it to the edges, and using a sharpened pencil to trace around the outlines of our cartoon. I'm going to keep doing that until I have transferred my cartoon 4 times. Now I am finished transferring Minnie Mouse because I have 4 images of her. Our next step here is doing a lot of outlining. So we're going to go over our drawing with a black Sharpie. Make sure that you have all of the details of the character down on your paper before you begin your outline. And when we outline, we want to go slow so that we make it the neatest that it can be. Remember, art is a process and it takes time. We never want to rush through our artwork just to finish it. I'm going to speed up my video. It's going to look like I'm tracing very fast, but actually I am not. I'm taking my time to make it look my very best. When you finish your outlining, you should take an eraser and erase extra pencil lines that are showing through your outline. We want our artwork to look as neat as it can, so this will help clean up any of those extra pencil lines peeking through. Remember, when you're erasing, you can put your other hand down and you can erase inside of the L shape that is made with your fingers. That is called the safety zone of erasing. That way your paper won't crinkle or wrinkle underneath. I hope you had fun getting started on your pop art cartoon inspired by the artist Andy Warhol. I can't wait to see how yours turns out.